Natural gas is a very versatile fuel that is used in numerous applications worldwide, one of which is power generation. In terms of greenhouse gas emissions, while it is considerably cleaner than coal-fired power generation, it's not as clean as renewables like wind, solar, hydro, or even nuclear. As such, Incorrys expects natural gas use in power generation to continue to grow, albeit at a much slower pace than the 4% annual average seen from 2000 through 2022. While the need to address climate change has put pressure on all fossil fuel generation, coal in particular, natural gas is expected to play a crucial role in the energy transition at least through 2030. Worldwide, natural gas-fired power generation has more than doubled since the turn of the century, increasing from about 2,700 terawatt-hours to 6,200 terawatt-hours at its previous peak in 2019. It did regress slightly in 2020 due to the economic fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic, before reaching a new peak over 6,300 terawatt-hours in 2021. Global natural gas power generation held relatively flat into 2022, a very turbulent year for the natural gas market in general, as Russian pipeline gas exports to Europe declined following sanctions attributable to Russia's invasion of the Ukraine. As a result, prices in Europe and Asia skyrocketed to unprecedented levels, propelled by a substantial increase in LNG demand in both regions. In fact, wholesale natural gas prices reached historic highs across all regions except North America and Russia. The world leader in natural gas power generation in 2022 was the United States, accounting for almost 1/4 of the total, about 24%. They were followed by Russia at 8%, Japan and Iran at 5%, China at 4%, and Saudi Arabia at 3%. In accordance with the International Energy Agency's, IEA, net zero emissions scenario, there is a global imperative to reduce natural gas generation down to just under 5,000 terawatt-hours by 2030 in order to cap the global temperature increase at 1.5 degrees Celsius. Under this scenario, gas-fired power generation will need to decrease 3% annually from 2021 to 2030 and would account for just 13% of the global power mix. Incorrys does not expect this scenario to play out, especially since the ongoing energy crisis is expected to defer the goal of meeting climate objectives, with energy security becoming the foremost priority. The transition to clean electricity is expected to gain momentum by 2030, after which the share of natural gas power generation is expected to begin declining. However, Incorrys expects gas-fired power generation to continue to grow through 2030 at an average annual rate of about 1%, considerably lower than historical rates, and will increase from about 6,300 terawatt-hours in 2022 to almost 7,000 terawatt-hours in 2030. That's 2,000 terawatt-hours over the IEA's net zero emissions scenario. The U.S. continues to increase natural gas power generation and actually met more than half its electricity demand with natural gas for the very first time in mid-2023. By 2030, the U.S. is expected to account for about 30% of the world total, up from 24% in 2022. Of the remaining 5 largest countries by gas generation, Russia and Iran's market share declined slightly from 2022. China and Saudi Arabia increased marginally, while Japan remains relatively flat. Post-2030, as primary capacity and clean energy commence operations, diverse regions across the globe are poised to embark on distinct trajectories in their own energy transition endeavors. The Asian-Pacific region, in particular, is slated to continue its progression towards a more sustainable energy mix, while delicately balancing economic and environmental considerations. The region's expanding reliance on natural gas imports presents both a far-reaching opportunity and a formidable challenge, underscoring the need for strategic planning and adaptive energy policies.